There are a number of principles and themes that are going to be emerging and re-emerging throughout this training. So I want to take a minute just to cover what some of those are so that you can see them when you notice them. I think it's going to really inform the concepts as they pop up. So some of the challenges and frustrations that are often faced out there and really the problems that we want to solve for is this idea of speaking to the masses. It's one of the things that mistakes that I see a lot of businesses make, especially when they're trying to do lead generation. They want to speak to the largest group possible because they believe that by casting a really wide net, they're going to catch the largest number of fish, and then they can leverage the funnel and other processes to get it more narrow and narrow and narrower down. It's actually not what you want to do. Again, it's what most people teach. It's this idea of like cast a really wide net and then we'll narrow down through our funnel and through our nurturing. It's actually the opposite of what you want to do. I'll share with you what you do want to do in just a second. The other challenge or frustration, what you don't want to do, is you don't want to ask too early. It actually does hurt to ask. If you've heard the expression, oh, it never hurts to ask. Yes, it does. It absolutely can hurt to ask too soon. And this is really important because very often in sales and marketing, there's this concept called speed to lead. As soon as you get a lead, you want to sell to that lead as quickly as you possibly can because that's when they're hot. And if you don't sell to them right away, then they're going to get cold. They're going to cool off. And here's the reality. What we found is that at any given time, 3 to 6% of your list is ready to buy now. The problem is you don't know who those 3 to 6% are at any given point in time. So yes, we do need to identify who those 3 to 6% are. And yes, we do need to move quickly on who those 3 to 6% are. But we don't necessarily want to hit everybody who's not in the 3 to 6% because it does hurt to ask. You can burn out perfectly good leads. And then lastly, we don't want to do spray and pray, but we also don't want to do endless research. And I see people doing both. I see people flailing around, launching campaign after campaign after campaign, testing landing page and lead magnet after landing page and lead magnet, trying everything under the sun because nothing is working. And then also see people taking forever in a day just doing research, pouring into the one perfect campaign that they believe is going to work, only to find that, it didn't. Okay? So we don't want to do these things. We don't want to speak to the masses. What do we want to do? We want to speak to the ideal. We want to be crystal clear on who is our ideal client, and we want to speak to just that ideal client right from the beginning. This flies in the face of what everybody teaches, but we don't want to cast a wide net. Right from the very beginning, from our advertising to our lead magnet and landing page, we want to talk to exactly our ideal market. And as we'll prove to you in just a little bit, by actually casting a smaller net, you'll actually wind up catching even more than you're catching right now by trying to talk to everybody. Also, again, we got to get really good at identifying who are the ready 3 to 6%. You're going to see when we're talking about monetization of those leads, it's less about, okay, we've got a lead. Now, how do we sell to everybody as quickly as possible? What you're going to see when we get into the monetization of the leads and the validation of the leads and how do we know that these are high quality leads, what we're mostly trying to figure out is who are the 3 to 6%. That's what we're trying to figure out. We want to make sure that they're there. We want to get them to raise their hand and identify themselves, but we're not going to try to sell to everybody. The name of the game in marketing today is not trying to sell to everybody. The name of the game in marketing today is to get high quality leads on your list and then work as hard as you can to get the ready 3 to 6% to identify themselves. If you can get them to identify themselves, then you get permission to sell to them and you leave everyone else the heck alone until they are ready. That is what marketing is about today. And we're going to show you some ways to go about doing that. And then lastly, we're not spray and pray. We're not endless research. What we're going to be doing, and this really is at the core of this entire program, we call it atomic testing. This is high frequency, low risk testing, and it really is what makes everything that we're going to show you work. Because the reality is that marketing has gotten more difficult. The days of just being able to go into Facebook and, pick and choose between thousands of different targeting variations to narrow it down to just the exact perfect people that you want to target, those days are over. They are long gone. It's just not how marketing works anymore. And so the only way that we can truly target today is through our messaging and then hoping that the friendly AI bots over at Meta and then eventually Google find the right people for us. And the only way that we can do that is through this process known as atomic testing. So that is at the core of what we do. It's not a spray and pray approach, but it's not an endless research approach. It's high frequency, but it is also low risk. So these are your 3 principles that I want you to think about as we're moving forward. Remember, when I talk about speaking to the ideal, remember that core principle. When we talk about identifying the ready 3 to 6%, and you're going to hear me say atomic testing over and over and over again because it is so important. Those are your core principles. Those are the big themes. Now that you know what they are, let's get